Now at 5, the Missouri amendment raising the minimum wage faces a legal challenge. Plus, we examine the new cell phone policy for Pittsburgh public school students, and
fingerprints could be key evidence in the murder of United Healthcare's CEO. I'm Bradley Blackburn with what's next for the suspect and how his defense is taking shape.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Missouri business groups have now filed a legal challenge to the newly passed Proposition A concerning a minimum wage. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. Several groups have joined together and are speaking out against Prop A for financial and legal reasons. In a joint statement, they state the measure will, quote, increase prices for consumers and impose significant financial burdens on businesses. These groups have submitted a legal challenge to the Missouri Supreme Court, hoping to get the proposition invalidated. The challenge claims the proposition has misleading language that creates prejudice for the amendment. That's why they believe the proposition is invalid. We're going to have more details on this challenge to Prop A for you tonight on KOAM News at 6. Pittsburgh high school students will soon need to put away their cell phones, AirPods, and cordless headphones during class. The new rule takes effect January 1st. The school is taking action to reduce distractions and improve focus in the classroom. The assistant principal says he's consulted with faculty and staff to develop new rules aimed at serving students better and creating a more productive learning environment.
The main thing that I take from it is the qualitative data that our own staff has told us and shown us that they see in our spaces that they are a distraction. And some of our teachers that have had more of a strict cell phone policy have noticed major differences in our engagement pieces in the classroom.
Crott says students can use their phones during break time, passing period, and on the bus, so long as they follow the school policies. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy now for a first look at the weather.
Well, it turned out to be a chilly one for us today. Also a little bit on the windy side as well. Temperatures only into lower 40s for highs. 38 in Joplin, 41 is where we stand in Pittsburgh. Stockton 37, Neosho is at 39, Miami 43, Neodesha is sitting at 43 degrees. The winds have calmed down a little bit, but these are going to pick right back up once again for us late tonight into the daytime hours tomorrow. Through the evening, we slide back through the 30s, and then we just kind of hang out right around that freezing mark as we go through the overnight hours. Clear skies, had a few little clouds kind of skirt through earlier, but in general, we're going to see clear skies as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. But our temperatures really are going to warm up as we go into Thursday afternoon. Warm front shifts through. We're going to be talking about that and rain here in just a bit.
We'll catch you in a few. Now, eventually the colder temps will be here to stay, making this a good time to have your heating system checked. Local technicians recommend you take action before the temperatures dip too cold. They say it's also a good time to replace your system's filter. A standard one-time maintenance call can cost between $100 and $200, but could save you thousands in repair costs.
People ask me a lot if they should close off vents to unused rooms, and that is not true. You should not do that. When you close the louvers to rooms that you're not using, it tries to force the rest of that air through the open ones, but that's a restriction. The same way a dirty air filter is a restriction, closed vents is a restriction.
Reporter Anthony Saviello is going to examine a day in the life of an HVAC technician tonight at 10. A forensic match ties a murder suspect to the brazen killing of the United Healthcare CEO in New York last week. Bradley Blackburn has more on that case.
Murder suspect Luigi Mangione is in custody at this state correctional institution in Pennsylvania. He's fighting extradition to New York to face trial in the execution of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. New York Governor Kathy Hochul will have to sign an extradition warrant to secure Mangione's return, which legal experts say is only a matter of time.
I think this will happen. There will be an extradition. What he's indicating is that he's going to fight at every step of the way.
Mangione's attorney says he hasn't seen anything proving his client's guilt.
I need to see evidence. We're entitled to see that, and we need to see that.
No fingerprints on the bullets at this time, but we did have one fingerprint on the cell phone that was recovered.
CBS News has also learned fingerprints found on a water bottle at the crime scene match Mangione's prints at his booking. Police say the 26-year-old suspect was arrested with a 3D printed gun, silencer, and a handwritten 3-page note, reading in part, "These parasites simply had it coming."
He certainly was trying to justify what he was doing. Of course, you cannot justify what he did.
Authorities believe a motive may be rooted in a debilitating back injury Mangione suffered. Legal experts say his defense appears to be taking shape.
I think the defense here is going to be prove that in the video of the killing, that is truly him.
Prosecutors say they intend to. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Thompson, a father of 2 sons, was laid to rest this week at a private funeral in his home state of Minnesota. Still ahead, a potential replacement for dating apps.
Putting down the apps and picking up an activity to find a connection. I'm Jared Hill with the shift in the dating game that's got some hitting the streets.
Plus, a disturbing finding concerning breast cancer trends in the U.S. Those stories just ahead in Health. Topping today's Health Watch, late-stage breast cancer is on the rise in the United States. According to a study in the journal Radiology, the number of women with metastatic cancer at the time of diagnosis increased significantly across all ages and ethnicities from 2004 to 2021. Researchers note breast cancer screenings dropped steeply during the COVID pandemic, which might be linked to the increase. New findings show higher cardiorespiratory fitness is linked to the preservation of core cognitive abilities in older adults. Researchers in Florida found study participants with the highest aerobic fitness performed better on tests involving memory, processing speed, and executive function. Single people across the country are reporting some fatigue with dating apps, especially younger adults. Last year, app downloads were down about 16% compared to 2020. One group is bridging the gap between digital and real life to help people make connections. Reporter Jared Hill found some singles lacing up for love.
Remember, today is about meeting people in real life.
A freezing night isn't really ideal for running.
It's getting nice and close like penguins and stay warm.
But maybe conducive for this run club in New York.
We try to connect you with people who spend their time doing the same thing in the same place.
Steve Cole founded the Lunge dating app about a year ago and the Run Club not too long after for fitness-focused millennials and Gen Zers, groups who've gotten sick of swiping. In a recent Forbes Health One survey, 78% of respondents said they felt dating app burnouts sometimes, often, or always, and millennials most of all.
It's really nice to get to meet people who, even if they're not like your person, they share the same goal of dating in New York.
Any runner wearing black here is single and looking.
You get to learn a little bit more and see if that chemistry is actually there.
It's about mate selection at our core, and you get to see how someone operates in the clan.
Clinical psychologist Sabrina Romanoff focuses on people in their 20s and 30s. She says she's observed a number of factors increasingly turning the younger set away from dating apps.
There can be hours and hours spent messaging people and getting very little back, so people feel like they're not getting all the investment that they're putting into these apps.
As more people search for in-person connections, the dating app world has taken notice. Tinder has partnered to host in-person parties. Others, like Time Left, are connecting strangers for a meal. After her first time hitting the road with Lunge, Sophie Dandrin was on a mission at their post-run mixer.
I came here, I was like, I'm gonna wear black and maybe I'll meet somebody, I don't know.
Modern matchmaking through good old-fashioned socialization. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Now, if you're in a rut finding a connection, romantic or otherwise, experts recommend leaning into activities you enjoyed as a child. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, our Pet Vet on Call.
Hi, I'm Dr. Eva Dudek from Parsons Pet Hospital. Coming up, we got a fun fact about why possums are good to have around the house.
Plus, our temperatures, they're going to start to actually warm back up. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, it turned out to be a chilly and kind of a windy day for us today. Thankfully, the winds are starting to calm down just a bit. A nice shot of our Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Pretty much clear skies right now. And that's what we're going to see as we go through the overnight hours. Mainly into the upper 30s out across southwestern Missouri, northwestern Arkansas, and then you jump into lower 40s, but still we're below where we should be for this time of the year. But we're going to see a big warm up as we go through the next couple days. 38, we're looking at 7th and range line. Winds are coming down. We have a westerly wind at about 5. We'll slide back through the 30s, and then we're going to hold out right around freezing as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. We have a warm front which is going to be shifting through. You can see the wind switching out to the south in our southwestern counties. So as we go through the overnight hours, those winds will start to pick up. So by tomorrow afternoon, we'll have gusts again, 20 to 25. But look at the line. This is where our warm front is going to be. So northern counties, not as windy. And then that front just kind of hangs out right in our northern counties into Friday. Stays windy again as we go into Friday afternoon. So a little bit breezy as we go through the next couple days. Clear skies, not a whole bunch going on here. We have one storm system heading away from us. We're going to see pretty much clear skies tonight and the first half of the day tomorrow, and then we'll start to get some clouds working in. So the colder air shifting east, ridge of high pressure building in. Here's our next little wave. Pushing right into parts of Oregon, northern parts of California. That will give us rain by the time Friday rolls around. Let's look at it tonight. Southerly winds keep our temperatures up, so we hang out near freezing all night long. Big warm up tomorrow. Most of us by noon into the mid 50s. We should go 57, 58 degrees for afternoon highs. Clouds will start to increase late in the day. Mostly cloudy skies for you Thursday night into Friday morning. So here's 7:30 in the morning on Friday. You can see a couple little tiny spotty showers or drizzle will start to develop, especially once we get into Friday afternoon. But most of the day still mainly dry. Friday evening, drizzle, light showers continue to increase. Notice the temperature is well above freezing, so we don't have to worry about any frozen precip. Then showers, even a few thunderstorms develop late Friday night. So here's after midnight, a few bands of showers and a few bands of thunderstorms starting to push through. So we're going to start the day on Saturday on the rainy side, but most of this rain will be out of here once we get into Saturday afternoon. Sunday looks good, but late Sunday into Monday, we'll start to see clouds increasing again and rain chances increasing again. So rainfall potential with our next two systems. Friday, late Sunday into Monday, a lot of us, especially on the Missouri side, should pick up maybe a half an inch of rain, which would be nice to see. 57 tomorrow, 52 Friday. Temperatures stay great, near 60 Saturday, 64 on Sunday, and then we start to cool back down the second half of next week.
Yeah, we'll deal with that when we have to. Those temps look great in the meantime.
Fantastic.
Enjoying that. Thanks, Doug. The wildfire outside of Los Angeles continues to rage. Look at this. More than 3,000 acres have burned. Several homes have been destroyed, fanned by those very high Santa Ana winds. Fire crews from all over the region are battling the flames. Thousands of people have evacuated. Thousands more have been told to be ready to leave. There's a snow shortage in Santa's hometown of Rovaniemi, Finland, and experts say climate change is to blame. After Finland's hottest summer, not a snowflake is in sight, and herders say unpredictable winters have reindeer struggling to dig up their main food. The site's also a disappointment to a lot of tourists to the Christmas village who were expecting snow. In fact, the snow shortage has forced some travel companies to cancel trips to Finland. A new inflation report gives a clue about prices you should expect as you do your Christmas shopping. That's just ahead in Consumer Watch. Topping today's Consumer Watch, a lot of new jobs are coming to Carthage because of a planned business expansion. Schreiber Food announces a major expansion of its Carthage operation that's expected to ultimately create 150 new jobs. The expansion includes construction of a new 168,000 square foot facility. The company says it'll begin construction preparation next month, and they expect to complete that project in 2027. Schreiber Foods processes cheese and beverage products. They've been part of the Carthage community since 1950. Inflation dropped from 9.1% in 2022 to just 2.4% this past September. But since then, prices have been rising at a faster rate. Kelly O'Grady has the results of a new government report.
Several surveys predict Americans will spend a record amount this holiday season. One reason why? Prices are going up. Annual inflation increased slightly in October, and a new report shows it went up once again in November. Adam Neal says that's affecting his shopping list.
Because of the price of everything going up, I have now had to cut back my budget.
Prices for many necessities, including groceries, continue to increase. Beef jumped 5% from a year ago. Eggs skyrocketed more than 37%. And housing costs, known as the shelter index, continue to have a major impact on overall inflation.
Shelter prices accounted for about 40% of the overall increase in the month of November.
CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger says there is some good news. Wages are going up faster than inflation, giving people more spending power. And borrowing money could get a little less expensive. Next week, the Federal Reserve is expected to cut interest rates 0.25 percentage point. But what happens in the new year is unclear.
The Fed's going to be waiting for the impact of any new Trump administration policies and their impact on the overall economy.
Other positives in the latest report, gas prices are down 8% from a year ago, and electricity dropped slightly from October to November. Kelly O'Grady, CBS News, New York.
Our pet vet on call up next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, the powerful FBI director announcing he'll step down, what it means for the future of the FBI, and Donald Trump's reaction. Then on KOAM News at 6, the latest on an investigation into the shootings of 2 people today in Webb City. They did survive. Plus, we're going to check out a marksmanship competition bringing some of the nation's top sniper teams to Arkansas. And we'll explain why opponents of Missouri's Prop A believe wording on the measure is misleading. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Just when you think you know all that's worth knowing about possums, we come along on KOAM News at 5. Now, last week, our pet vet on call explained that the act of playing possum is actually an involuntary response by those furry critters. Well, today she has a second fun fact about possums.
Possums are good for your ecology. They are not rodents, they are marsupials, and they actually help keep your area clean. They eat ticks, they eat cockroaches, they eat mice and rats, in addition to anything that's dead in your immediate area. So they're good to have around. They have studied that possums can actually eat up to 5,000 ticks a year. That's a lot of ticks to eat, and it helps you with tick-borne diseases like getting Lyme's disease or Ehrlichia or Rocky Mountain spotted fever. They're good to have around. So keep your possums there.
There you go. Welcome the possums to your yard. We invite questions from anyone. If you have a question, you just send it to petvet@koamtv.com. Dr. Eva Dudek from the Parsons Pet Hospital answers a different question or brings us a fun fact every Wednesday right here on KOAM News at 5. You can also find answers to previous questions on our website. All right, let's check out our picks of the litter for the week. From the Joplin Humane Society, we've chosen a young male shepherd mix. There on your left, the society says he's friendly, smart, quick to learn new tricks. They say he's also playful, but after a play session, he likes to cuddle, and his name is Bernard. And from the Southeast Kansas Humane Society, we have a female pointer named Juice. They say she's gentle, adores people, and enjoys playing with her tug toy in the park. If you're looking for a pet, why not at least check out your local Humane Society? They have so many great ones to choose among. And tomorrow, at least, will be pretty nice for a visit to the dog park.
Yeah, not too bad. We're going to warm up quite a bit, upper 50s for highs. It is going to be breezy southerly winds. Clouds increasing late in the day into the overnight hours tomorrow night. Light showers Friday, but more persistent rain Friday night into Saturday morning.
And rain, not a bad thing. We could actually use a bit more, and warmer temps, we'll welcome those for sure in December. Thanks for joining us. CBS Evening News is next. And of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. We'll see you then. Let's make it a great evening.